They say silence is the purest sound in space. That night, silence screamed at me. My name is Evan, a security pilot stationed near the Orion Belt. I'd been floating alone for 12 hours in a damaged pod, listening to the slow heartbeat of my oxygen tank. Then it happened. Please, don't take off my clothes. A voice, soft trembling, not human. My hands froze on the flight controls. No signal on comms, no source in radar. Yet the voice vibrated inside my head, like it had always belonged there. Who's there? I whispered. Evan, she breathed. They're coming. A surge of light tore the starfield open like paper. A figure drifted through the rip, weightless, glowing faintly. Silver skin, translucent fabric. Wide golden eyes. She wasn't falling. She was descending, as if the stars themselves were lowering her into my arms. I opened the airlock, and she floated in. She was shaking, not from cold, but from something deeper. Fear that had a heartbeat. Her voice cracked when she spoke again. My name is Emily. Please don't let them find me. I didn't know who they were, but the second her fingers brushed mine, my neural core went into overdrive. Alarms blared. Unauthorized presence detected. Then the station's encrypted channel crackled to life. Arlo, my commanding officer. Evan, what the hell did you bring aboard? She's not a threat, I said. She's an alien, and you violated council protocol. He was coming, fast. I could hear the pulse of the fleet's engines. I carried Emily to the medbay. She trembled as the scanners wrapped her in blue light. Her anatomy was nothing like any species I'd seen. Beneath her skin, energy moved like liquid fire. They tore my body apart, she whispered, and put something inside me. What did they put in you? She looked at me and her eyes burned. A war! The door slammed open. Arlo entered in full armor, flanked by Diego and Bryson. Diego's eyes screamed concern. Bryson's face didn't flinch. Typical scientist. Step aside, Evan, Arlo ordered. She's council property now. She's a person, I shot back. No, Arlo sneered. She's a weapon. Emily clutched my arm tighter. Please, don't let them take me. I stood my ground. Diego muttered under his breath. Evan, don't do this. He'll court-martial you. She's not going anywhere, I said. Bryson stepped forward with a cold tablet in hand. She's emitting a signal we can't trace. Whatever she's carrying, it's dangerous. Dangerous. That word echoed like a verdict, but I'd seen the fear in her eyes. Not of us, of something worse. They're here, Emily whispered, and then the lights died. Darkness swallowed the medbay. The floor shook beneath us, as if something massive had just latched onto the station. From outside the viewport, I saw it, a black, spined ship cutting through space like a blade. Eclipse Syndicate, Diego gasped. They found me, Emily whispered. She lifted her hand and the entire medbay glowed. The scanners exploded with data. Codes I didn't understand spiraled across the walls. A map of hidden colonies burned in the air, information no human had ever seen. Arlo aimed his plasma rifle at her. Stand down, I shouted. Move, Evan, he barked. But before anyone could fire, the air itself bent. Gravity snapped. The ship outside opened fire. The medbay windows shattered into shards of floating stars. Alarms howled through every deck. The syndicate was boarding us. Emily pressed her forehead against mine. For a heartbeat, everything stilled. If you stay with me, she whispered, you'll never be the same again. I already know, I breathed, and then everything exploded. When the smoke cleared, the station was gone. Only Evan and Emily drifted in the ruins of the Orion Belt, surrounded by the burning fleet. And far in the distance, the black ship turned back, not to flee, to hunt. Cold, silent, dead. That's what the Orion Belt becomes after a syndicate strike. I floated weightless, the air in my helmet frosting over as I stared at what used to be the cradle station, now just a graveyard of burning metal. Beside me, Emily hung suspended, wrapped in the soft halo of her own light. She wasn't breathing. She didn't need to. Evan, her voice brushed through my head, calm despite the chaos. They're not done. I know, I whispered. My fingers clenched around the ruined control stick of my drifting pod. We need cover. Somewhere beyond the debris, engines purred. Hunters circling their prey. The syndicate ship. Arlo had sold us out. I could feel it in the silence he left behind. He didn't die in that blast. Traitors like him don't vanish that easily. I can mask our signatures, Emily whispered, but you have to trust me. I already do. She placed her hand on my chest plate. My entire suit flickered, then dissolved into shadow. Her energy wrapped around me like night swallowing starlight. The burning wreckage dimmed, and we slipped into the cold between. Then, another voice cracked into the neural line. Diego. Evan, are you alive? Answer me, damn it! Still here, I breathed. Bryson's got an escape vector. We're tracking you. Syndicates sweeping the field. I caught Emily's gaze. She was listening too. Diego's voice dropped lower. They want her, Evan. They're not going to stop. Then they'll bleed for it, I growled. Emily's glow pulsed brighter at my words. Not from fear, but something else. Something like trust. We slipped through a maze of twisted wreckage, hiding in the carcasses of broken ships. The black syndicate cruiser slid silently through the debris field like a shark sniffing for blood. 3 hunters inbound, Diego whispered. They've got proximity scanners. Where are you? Outer belt, sector gamma. His voice shook. Carolina's with me. Carolina, the rebel pilot, the one who never followed rules. If anyone could thread a needle through syndicate fire, it was her. Evan, Emily murmured. Your people. They don't trust me. They don't have to, I replied. I do. A faint smile broke through her trembling lips. For someone who'd lost everything, that smile felt like war against the universe. Diego's beacon blinked weakly from the shadow of a fractured frigate. As I approached, the Carolina's shuttle detached from the wreckage like a ghost, engines muted, lights off. We hooked onto its hull with the emergency clamps and slipped inside. The pressure hatch hissed. Warm air filled my lungs. Diego stood near the control panel, face streaked with blood and ash, his eyes lighting up when he saw me. You're a stubborn bastard, he muttered. Glad to see you too, I said. Carolina leaned against the pilot's seat, plasma pistol spinning lazily in her hand. You've got a syndicate princess with you, she said, nodding at Emily. She's not syndicate, Carolina smirked. Then why are they burning a whole station for her? Before I could answer, Bryson's hologram flickered to life on the main screen. Calm, too calm. Evan, you've made things complicated. You knew, I hissed. You knew what they were after. I helped build it. The room froze. What? Diego's voice cracked. You worked with them? Worked, Bryson said softly. And then I ran. Whatever Emily carries inside her, it's not just data. It's the crown signal. Emily stiffened beside me. You shouldn't have said that, she whispered. I turned to her. What's the crown signal? She met my eyes, and for the first time, I saw something that terrified even her. It's the key to controlling every AI in the system. Diego swore under his breath. Carolina's pistol stopped spinning. If the syndicate got that signal, every defense AI, every military corps, every colony would kneel in seconds. No wars, just silence. Bryson's voice cut through again. They're coming. Arlo is leading them. Of course, the traitor wasn't dead. Evan, Bryson added quietly, you can't keep running. You need to get to Salem, Diego frowned. Salem's a myth. No, Emily whispered. Salem is real, and it's waiting for me. The ship shuddered. Alarms screamed. Syndicate hunters had found us. Carolina slammed the throttle forward. The shuttle roared out of the debris field like a bullet through glass. Beams of searing red plasma cut through the dark behind us. Emily grabbed my arm as if the cold itself might tear us apart. I looked back. 3 syndicate ships closing fast. At their front, a black command fighter. Arlo's. I leaned toward Carolina. Get us out of here, she grinned. Hold on tight. The shuttle dove into the rings of a shattered moon, the syndicate in hot pursuit. Light blurred. Rock fragments exploded around us. The air crackled with death. Emily's glow intensified, wrapping around the hull like a shield. For a moment, we were untouchable. For a moment, I almost believed we could win. Then the black command fighter surged ahead. Arlo's voice filled the comm. Evan, you can't hide her forever. I clenched my fists. Watch me. And then a shadow eclipsed the stars ahead. A massive gate, metallic, ancient, waiting. Emily whispered one word that made my blood run cold. Salem! The shuttle hurtled toward the glowing gate as syndicate ships closed in from behind. No turning back, no guarantees, only the dark mouth of Salem, and whatever waited inside it. The shuttle screamed as it pierced through the black dust of the shattered moon, engines blazing like a wounded animal. Behind us, the syndicate fleet spread across the stars like a net tightening around prey. And ahead, the Salem Gate, a colossal ring of silver-black alloy hovering silently in the void. No engines, no signals, just a pulsing white core, like a heart waiting to beat. Tell me that thing's not alive, Diego muttered. It's not, Carolina snapped, hands gripping the flight yoke. At least I hope not. Beside me, Emily stood motionless, eyes glowing, breath shallow. The light spilling from her skin shimmered like a star waking up. Evan, she whispered, the gate knows I'm here. I turned sharply. What do you mean it knows? Before she could answer, the command fighter ahead of the syndicate fleet broke formation. Black, predatory, fast. Arlo. His voice slid into the comm like poison. You're cornered, Evan. Open the hatch, hand her over. Walk away breathing, Carolina laughed coldly. I'd rather choke. Your choice, Arlo replied. Then his ship accelerated. The shuttle rattled as a plasma beam ripped through its left wing. Alarms blared. Metal screamed. Diego slammed his fist into the console. Shields down to 30%. Emily's glow surged. Give me access to the core. What for? I asked. Because this gate isn't locked, she said, her voice turning metallic, almost alien. It's waiting for me. Diego gave me a sharp look. Evan, she's gonna open that thing. Do it, I said. Carolina cursed under her breath, but she didn't stop her. Emily closed her eyes. A hum filled the cabin, low at first, then deep enough to rattle bone. The silver-black gate began to spin. White light bled across its surface like veins lighting up after centuries of sleep. For a heartbeat, the stars themselves held their breath. Then the gate answered her. A shock wave erupted outward. Syndicate fighters spun out of formation. Arlo's ship bucked violently, its sleek body losing control. The gate opened like an eye. Evan, Emily whispered. This is where everything started. I grabbed her hand. Then we end it here. The shuttle dove into the eye of Salem. The light swallowed everything. No stars, no syndicate. Just a tunnel of swirling silver mist and fragments of things that shouldn't exist. Cities turned upside down, frozen rivers hanging in the air, giant fractured statues of faceless kings. The shuttle twisted and moaned as gravity shifted in every direction at once. Where the hell are we? Diego shouted. Carolina fought the controls. We're not in space anymore. Emily opened her eyes and the mist parted like it recognized her. Welcome to Salem, she said softly. The last archive. The ship stabilized near a floating platform of cracked obsidian. Towers rose in the distance, bent and broken, wrapped in vines of glowing blue energy. A ruined civilization, breathing in silence. Then a whisper echoed through the neural comm. Not from Emily, not from anyone alive. Crown carrier detected. The platform lit up. Did that thing just talk? Carolina whispered. Emily didn't answer. Her face had gone pale. It knows me. Before we could react, metallic sentinels emerged from the ground. Humanoid figures with glowing chests and no faces. 10 of them. Their steps made no sound. Their weapons hummed like distant thunder. Diego raised his rifle. This isn't good. Put it down, Emily said quickly. They'll see it as a threat. Yeah, Diego snapped. They look threatening already. One of the sentinels stepped forward. Its chest light pulsed 3 times. And then it knelt in front of her. Carolina's eyes widened. What the hell? They're not soldiers, Emily whispered. They're guardians. Mine back at the gate's edge, outside the light. Arlo's command fighter recovered. The syndicate ships regrouped. Track them through the breach, Arlo ordered coldly. And when we find them, kill everyone but her. On the platform, the sentinels surrounded Emily. She stepped toward their leader like she had walked this place 1,000 times before. Her hand hovered over its glowing chest and the whole city trembled. as if some ancient power was waking up beneath our feet. "This is why they want me," she whispered to me, voice shaking. "I'm the last key." I stared at her, heart pounding. "Then we better make sure they don't get the lock." The ground split open. A massive pillar of light shot into the dark sky, firing through the gate like a beacon. Somewhere in the shadows, Arlo's fleet saw it and turned straight toward us. "Emily has awakened Salem. The Sentinels have chosen their side, but the beacon has exposed their location." The ground beneath Salem groaned like a sleeping giant. The black obsidian platform shook, cracks spreading outward as the beam of light tore into the starless sky. The Sentinels didn't move. They just knelt, heads lowered, as if swearing loyalty to something ancient. I stared at Emily. Her eyes blazed gold. Power, real, terrifying power, coursed through her veins. "You woke it up," I whispered. "No," she said quietly. "It woke me." Carolina's hands were still on the shuttle's side cannon, knuckles white. Diego scanned the horizon with his scope, tension crawling up his spine. "Fleet inbound," Diego muttered. "Big. 3 cruisers. Arlo's leading them." I clenched my fists. "We don't have time for this." The Sentinels slowly rose, their silent heads turning toward the distant light of approaching ships. Then one of them extended its arm toward Emily. The glowing core in its chest flickered like a heartbeat. She didn't hesitate. She stepped forward. "They're giving me something," she said. "Something I used to be." Carolina frowned. "Used to be." But Emily was already inside the Sentinel's reach. Light erupted from its chest and flowed straight into her. She staggered. I rushed forward, but Diego held me back. "Evan, don't! Look at her. She's changing." The gold in her veins burned brighter. Symbols flashed across her skin, swirling like living code. A single word appeared in the air before her, projected in alien script. She gasped. "What is it?" I demanded. "It's my name," she whispered. "My real one." Before I could ask more, the shuttlecom cracked alive. "Evan," the voice cold, familiar. "Arlo." "Lower your shields." "Hand her over." "I'll let your team live," Carolina spat at the speaker. "You're outnumbered. We'll die fighting." "You will," Arlo said calmly. "But she won't. The council wants her alive. I can even give you a clean death." I shut the comm off. "He's lying." But Diego wasn't looking at me. He was looking at something behind me. I turned and froze. A sentinel, the largest of the 10, was raising its weapon, but not at Arlo's fleet, at us. "Evan," Emily whispered. "Something's wrong." The sentinel's chest light flickered red. A flash of blue tore through the air. Carolina threw herself to the ground as the cannon blast shredded through a tower behind us. I tackled Emily to the platform. Diego returned fire. The sentinels weren't kneeling anymore. They were splitting. Half still glowed gold, protecting Emily. The others turned crimson, faces locked forward, weapons raised. 2 factions. "Why the hell are they fighting each other?" Diego yelled. Emily pressed her forehead to the ground, clutching her head like she was hearing a war inside her skull. "There's another protocol," she gasped. "Something buried deep. A second voice. It's overriding me," Carolina cursed. "Override this, machine freaks." She fired a missile at one of the red sentinels. It exploded into molten shards, but 2 more moved in its place. They weren't reacting like soldiers. They were reacting like programmed executioners. The air filled with light, gunfire, and alien echoes. The gate of Salem flashed again. Arlo's fleet punched through the breach, 3 syndicate cruisers lighting up the void like iron beasts. Dropships detached, cutting through the mist like knives. He wasn't waiting. "He's coming," Diego growled. Emily lifted her head slowly. The gold in her eyes flickered against red static crawling through her veins. Something was trying to take her. "Evan," she said softly, "if I lose control, don't let them take me." "No," I said instantly. "We're not doing this." She smiled sadly. "You might not have a choice." Carolina's voice cut through the chaos. "Evan, contact on our flank." From the left side of the broken platform, a dropship descended fast. A syndicate strike unit stormed the ruins. And at the front of that unit, Arlo, helmet off, jaw set, eyes like steel. You should have taken my offer, he said, stepping over the broken stones. Now I'll take everything. I aimed my blaster at him. You'll die trying. He raised one hand. Behind him, Jason, a face I hadn't seen in months, stepped out of the shadows. My heart clenched. Jason, my brother in arms, the man I once trusted with my life. Hello, Evan, Jason said calmly. You're with him? I whispered. I'm with the winning side. Arlo smirked. Welcome to betrayal, hero. A blast ripped through the center of the platform. Red sentinels stormed the line. Golden ones formed a shield around Emily. My team scrambled for cover. Carolina fired. Diego hacked the nearest sentinel trying to flank us. Jason advanced, blaster in hand, every step slicing through the last of my faith. We were supposed to protect her together, I shouted. And we will, Jason replied, but not for you. For them, he fired. The shot tore across my shoulder. I fell back, blood hot against my armor. Emily screamed. Not a human scream. A sound that cracked the air open like glass. The red code tried to consume her, but the gold fought back. She's burning herself out, Carolina yelled. The gold flared brighter. One by one, the red sentinels froze mid-attack, their cores flickering uncertainly. A pulse surged from Emily, knocking syndicate soldiers to the ground, including Arlo. She stood. You want me? She said, voice layered with something not human. Then come and die. The entire city trembled. Above us, the gate of Salem pulsed like a living star. A second beam of light began to rise, twice as bright as before. Jason stared at her, eyes wide. She's not supposed to be able to do that. Arlo didn't answer. His gaze was fixed on the beam. His plan was crumbling, or evolving into something worse. Jason's betrayal shatters the team. Emily's hidden power awakens fully for the first time, and now a second beam is activated. Something bigger than the gate itself is waking up. The second beam ripped into the void like a blade splitting heaven. It wasn't just light anymore. It was sound. A low, ancient hum vibrating through the bones of the city, through my skin, through the darkness itself. Above us, the gate of Salem began to spin faster, like something massive on the other side was clawing its way out. Carolina shielded her face from the blast. What the hell is happening? The gate has two cores, Emily whispered. One is mine. She turned her glowing eyes toward the sky. The other is waking up. Sparks rained down as the ground split again. Half the golden sentinels staggered, their chest lights glitching between gold and crimson. Diego was yelling into the comm, trying to jam syndicate frequencies, but static bled through every channel. They're hacking the sentinels, using the second core, he shouted. We can't hold them both off. I clenched my teeth. We don't hold them. We break them. But Arlo wasn't panicking. He was smiling, standing calmly among the syndicate troops, even as shockwaves rolled through the ruins. You think you're fighting me, he said softly. You're not. You're fighting what she was built for. Jason stepped forward, lowering his weapon slightly, not in mercy, but in awe. Evan, look at her. I did, and for the first time, Emily didn't look like the lost alien girl who whispered for help. She looked like a weapon. Light poured from her veins. Gold battled with a darker red beneath her skin. She was caught between two forces, her power and the one trying to claim it. Carolina grabbed my arm. Evan, if that second pulse goes full, this whole system's done. The gate'll collapse in on itself. So we shut it down. Diego barked a laugh. Yeah? How? With a screwdriver? But Emily raised her hand before either of us could answer. No. With me, Emily, Evan. Her voice was calm, quiet, too quiet. This was always the plan. I was made to control the cores. Both of them, I saw it then. The fear behind her calm. She didn't know if she could survive it. Arlo barked an order. Syndicate soldiers charged forward, their rifles spitting light. Carolina dove behind a cracked pillar and opened fire. Diego overrode 3 red sentinels, turning their own weapons back on the syndicate line. Jason didn't shoot this time. He watched, like a man already convinced the ending was inevitable. I sprinted through the chaos, ducking under plasma bursts until I reached Emily. You're not doing this alone, I said. You can't stop it. Then I'll burn with you. For a moment, just a heartbeat, the war around us disappeared. It was just her eyes, gold against the black of the gate. She reached out. My fingers locked with hers. Then hold on, she whispered. She let go of everything. Light roared out of her like a second sun igniting. A gravitational wave crushed the air around us. Every syndicate soldier was thrown to the ground. Even Arlo staggered, caught off guard. The red sentinels convulsed. Their lights flickered madly, as if something deep inside them was being rewritten. The two beams merged in the sky, twisting into a spiral of gold and crimson. "What is she doing?" Carolina shouted over the comm. "She's connecting both cores," Diego answered, voice trembling. "She's rewriting the gate." A crackling sound cut through the storm. Jason's voice. "No one can survive that," he whispered. Inside the light, Emily was floating. Her feet no longer touched the ground. Her veins burned with power I couldn't comprehend. I could feel the pulse through my skin, like my body wasn't mine anymore. I reached for her, but Arlo moved faster. He tackled me from behind, slamming me into the ground, his blade slicing across my armor. His breath was hot against my ear. "You idiot," he hissed. "You're protecting something that was built to end you." I elbowed him hard and rolled away. He came at me again, fast, precise. Years of war burned into every move. Our blades clashed under the swirling sky. "She's not a weapon," I growled. "She's the trigger," he spat. He kicked me hard in the chest. I hit the ground. Arlo grabbed a fallen syndicate rifle, aimed at Emily, and fired. The bullet never touched her. A sentinel, glowing gold, stepped in front of her and took the hit, its chest shattering like glass. It collapsed at her feet. Emily didn't flinch. She was beyond that now. Then, something changed. The spiral above us twisted violently. A shadow, deep, ancient, uncoiled itself from the crimson beam. Not a ship, not a human, not a sentinel. A shape older than the gate itself. Diego's voice cracked through the comm. "Evan, something's coming through." Carolina's hands shook on the cannon. "That's not the syndicate." The pulse deepened. The air tore apart, and from the beam emerged a colossal figure. Black as void, wearing no armor, only light. Its face was smooth, unreadable. But when it moved, the stars themselves bent around it. "Core 2, Emily whispered. "The Devourer." Arlo froze, his smile gone. That wasn't part of the plan. The gate screamed. Jason took a step back. "Evan, we need to run." "We can't," I said. "If that thing crosses the gate, it won't stop at us." Emily opened her glowing eyes, voice layered with something no longer human. "It was never meant to stop." The Devourer raised its hand. The ruins trembled. Sentinels, both red and gold, fell silent. Every ship above Salem flickered, and then its voice echoed across the system, not with sound, but inside our heads. "The second sun has awakened. Let the harvest begin. The gate has unleashed Core 2, the Devourer. Syndicate and heroes alike are caught in a storm far bigger than their war. Emily stands between two impossible choices: become its key or be consumed by it." The Devourer moved like gravity given shape. Each step twisted the ruins. Each breath bent the stars. Its presence alone was a war. Above, the two beams of light collided fully, one gold, one crimson. Their clash painting the sky in spirals of fire. I pressed my hand against the cracked stone, the shock waves tearing through my chest. Carolina's voice cracked through comm static. "Evan, it's destabilizing the gate. We've got minutes before this place collapses." Diego's fingers flew over his hacked console, sweat streaking his face. "I can't override a god, Evan." "That thing is rewriting space." Arlo had fallen to one knee, the arrogance gone from his face. Jason stood rigid behind him, pale, eyes locked on the Devourer, as if every nightmare he ever had was staring back. Emily, she wasn't trembling. She floated. Her veins glowed gold and red in a perfect war inside her. The beams weren't just colliding above us, they were inside her. "Evan," she whispered, "I can feel it." "It's trying to use me." I stepped closer, dust swirling around my boots. Then don't let it. You don't understand. Her voice was layered now. Two tones, one hers, one alien. It was made from me. The devourer's faceless head tilted toward her. No mouth, no eyes, yet the air trembled with its presence. It spoke again, not in sound, but in thought. Crown bearer. Return to the core. Complete the cycle. Carolina fired a rail cannon shot into its chest. The shell exploded like a spark against a black ocean. The devourer didn't even flinch. It raised its hand. The air ripped open. A wave of pure force slammed into us. Carolina and Diego were thrown like rag dolls into the ruins. Jason barely stayed on his feet. I crashed against a broken pillar, lungs burning. We can't fight that, Diego coughed. We don't have weapons big enough. We don't need weapons, I said through clenched teeth. We have her. Emily hovered higher, hair streaming like a comet. Her skin shimmered gold, then cracked with red. A scream tore through the sky, not from her mouth, but the gate itself. Suddenly, the sentinels stirred again. Half of them turned crimson, half gold, and then they charged each other. The platform erupted into chaos. Gold clashed with red, plasma tearing through the air. Emily's power was splitting them apart. Jason ducked as a sentinel was cleaved in half beside him. Evan, Diego yelled over the comm. It's pulling all the sentinels into the core signal. If she loses control, it won't stop with them. Then she can't lose control. Jason moved in behind me. His voice shook. You think she can beat that thing? Look at it. It's not a machine. It's a god, no. I turned to face him. It's just a key looking for a door. Jason didn't answer, but his hand tightened on his rifle. Arlo rose to his feet slowly, dust rolling off his armor. He wasn't panicking anymore. He was calculating. You're still trying to save her, he said quietly, but if she becomes one with that thing, you'll lose everything. We're not at that part of the story yet, I spat. Oh, Arlo smirked. We are. He raised his gauntlet and pressed something on his wrist. The syndicate cruiser above us lit up. He armed the core bomb, Carolina screamed. He's going to blow the gate. Arlo's voice cut through the comm, calm as a knife. If I can't control her, no one will. The devourer's shadow thickened. Its hand extended toward Emily like a tidal wave of darkness. Her body jerked, her light sputtering. I ran forward, screaming her name. She looked down at me, and for a heartbeat, the girl who whispered, "Please be my dad," was there again. Evan, fight it. You're not theirs. You're you, tears welled in her golden eyes. Her voice cracked. I don't know who that is anymore. The devourer's energy swallowed her midsection. Gold light bent inward like metal folding under pressure. She screamed. The red almost won. No, 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 no! I lunged forward, but Jason grabbed me. You can't reach her like that, he shouted. You'll die before you get close. Then let me die trying. Jason didn't let go. For the first time since his betrayal, I saw fear in his eyes. Not for himself. For me. Evan, listen, he whispered. There's another way. Carolina dragged herself behind the fallen rail cannon, blood streaking down her cheek. We've got 60 seconds before Arlo's bomb goes hot. Diego cursed as his hack screens glitched. I can't shut it down remotely. Someone has to detonate it manually, or we all burn. Jason's grip tightened on my arm. I'll do it. I froze. What? I started this, he said. Let me end it. Meanwhile, above us, the devourer fully locked onto Emily. Its voice thundered inside every mind at once. One crown, one cycle, all must return. She was losing. Her glow dimmed. Red veins crawled up her neck like fire. I broke Jason's grip and sprinted through the collapsing platform. I didn't care about the blast. I didn't care about the devourer's gravity. I cared about her. Evan, she screamed. I reached for her hand. The moment our fingers touched, a shock wave ripped through everything. Gold light flared. The devourer jerked back, as if something ancient had struck it. Her voice hit my mind like a whisper from a burning star. You shouldn't have followed me here. I'll always follow you. Her gold flared brighter. For the first time, the devourer stumbled. Jason raced toward the syndicate bomb core, tearing off his helmet as he ran. His breath echoed in my comm. 30 seconds! Carolina covered him with cannon fire. Diego redirected gold sentinels to guard him. Arlo screamed orders into his wrist, trying to override his own device. But it was too late. The devourer reared back, roaring like the birth of a son. Evan, Emily whispered, this is going to hurt. I can take it. No, she said softly, glowing brighter than ever. I meant me. She unleashed everything. The collision of the two suns, gold and crimson, wasn't light anymore. It was silence. The kind of silence that swallows whole galaxies. The gate cracked. The devourer screamed for the first time. Jason reached the bomb. His hand hovered over the manual detonation. He looked up at me. I nodded. He smiled just once and pressed the switch. The world turned white. The explosion hit like the wrath of creation itself. The gate shattered. The devourer was consumed in a spiral of collapsing gravity. Emily's light flared against the blast, shielding us with everything she had. Jason disappeared into the light. I screamed his name, but the universe didn't answer. Then everything went black. Jason sacrifices himself to trigger the blast. The devourer is swallowed in a collapsing gate, but Emily's power burns out with it. When Evan opens his eyes, the world won't be the same.